Hello Andrew, this is November 2009. Just to be contrary, I'm going clockwise this year round ARyGNov2009. That's your double gates at the bottom, the entrance to the reserve. Fence is looking nice here, but the netting's looking nice here, but the stakes are looking a bit ropey. Have a look at this. I haven't been any further yet, but there's surely quite a few snapped off stakes here. I'll report later. As I go up the hill, I'll report on just what the extent of the problem is. Let's call that number 1 on the map. Okay, just to confirm my suspicions that the woodwork's beginning to go on this section, I'm just another 25 yards up the hill from number 1, and here's a straining post. It's the same kind of deal, I'm afraid. It looks like everything's rotting at the ground. Okay, we'll call that last straining post number 2 on the map, which makes this number 3. I must be 1/5, a quarter of the way up the steep hill here from the double gates. Again, weak stakes. I mean, the tension in the fence is lifting the fence off the ground. Don't know if you can make out a bit of wool here stuck on the bottom of the fence, but somebody's managing to push his way under here. So I think this one definitely deserves a good stake in the ground just to support this rather weak fellow next to it. Call this number 3. And the next straining post going up the hill, call this number 4. Everything's rotting at ground level. I'm sorry all these numbers are getting very close together on a map. I'm writing them in as I go around and it's looking like a chain going around the whole reserve so far. It'd be great if you were a fencing contractor. Okay, I'm halfway up the steep hill here from the double gates. This is a point of interest, so I won't actually number it. This is the fence that I'm looking at. It's lost in this complete sort of 6-foot high sea of brambles and bracken. The good thing here is that there's no sheep either side of the fence. I'm sure the stakes are rotting as they are elsewhere on this section. However, replacing them would be a complete nightmare in terms of access, cutting down the undergrowth to get here, getting the materials here, and you wonder whether it's worthwhile in terms of stopping the stock. Personally, I'd be tempted to focus on the top section and bottom section where we know there are stock either side. However, point of interest, no number. Okay, this is number 5 on the plan. Straining post that's just about holding up. Actually, it's strong and it's not rotten, but it's feeling slightly sad. So I've tightened the windlass on it, which is nice, and now I'm tempted just to get some barbed underneath the bottom here. It's holding in place even though it's in a peculiar angle and stuff. So length of barbed wire and a couple of staples, and not much time once you've got here. Okay, this is top of the steep hill up from the double gates. I reckon the thought of replacing all your woodwork all the way up the hill is a bit daunting, and perhaps if we have the discipline to do a little bit every year, that might be the idea. I reckon if you chucked 8 stakes off the top of the hill, you brought 10 stakes, 2 straining posts and associated struts up from the bottom, and you spent about a day and a half, it would help pin down the netting to the ground in a couple of places where the sheep are coming in because the broken stakes have allowed the tension of the netting to pick the netting up off the ground. Okay, this is number 6 on the plan. There's a straining post I replaced last year, and here this year, this is a little friend. Yeah, that needs replacing. Straining post, point number 6. Okay, this is number 7. There's a wee leg of fence coming from this gate here, up, straight into the sun, up to the top there, if you're not blinded. Just put 3 or 4 stakes in here, call it 4 stakes. The stakes are pretty rotten here, but again could be propped up without replacing all of them. Of course, around the corner there up at the top is a section of quite rusty netting, which I think we put in a 5-year budget or something last year. This section's number 7. Okay, here we are on the most westerly point of the reserve, just before I go down the other steep hill back down to the river at the bottom on the permissive path down there. Coming down from number 7 down to Penrhwyar Gate, that's fine, it's in good order. Coming from Penrhwyar Gate to here, fair play to Hugh, he's had a chap in who's cut one of the trees, at least one of the trees off the fence, and he's done a decent job of fixing the fence, which is good to see. And credit where credit due, the section of fence along here is stock proof. It's still very tired in terms of the woodwork, particularly the straining posts. Okay, I'm now at the most northerly point at the reserve. The fence down the hill is absolutely stunning. Whoever made that for you did a damn good job of it. No problems there. This is an interesting bit of gate. It's the Irish latching system. I guess you're well aware of that, and all you've got to do is lift the gate off if you want to sort it out. I'll leave it as it is. Alright, this is number 8. It's possible with a bow saw, but if I'm in with a chainsaw it'd be an awful lot easier. No real damage to the fence, just kind of sitting on it. Number 8. And number 9, if you're coming to do number 8, this is nearby. It's only a threat, this large branch from an alder. The whole thing's going to come over at some point, I suppose. Might as well take that branch off, number 9, if you're there with a chainsaw anyway. Number 10, here I am at the gate leaving the far paddock, as it were. This is just a wee branch that could come down. If you're here with a chainsaw, it wouldn't take 20 minutes. This is number 11. I'm in the lower paddock, and this is just a bough of oak. It's nothing to do with fences, but it's a bough of oak that's dropped off and landed in the paddock, and while I'm here with a chainsaw you might want me to remove that. Number 11. Yeah, sheep wool there. Where are we? We're number 12, I think. Number 12. Fence lifting slightly here. Just signs that the sheep are starting to go through here. I'll bring a stake and that'll fix it. Number 12. Again, more wool at the bottom of fences. Here we are, number 13. A couple of rotten stakes here which haven't helped the situation, so I'll replace those. Sheep going under the fence, number 13. Need a couple of stakes, that'll do. And back to the gates, that's it, all the way around. Hello, back in the office, just to save you doing some totting up. Everything I mentioned in that is 3 posts, 4 struts, 25 stakes, negligible amount of barbed wire. I reckon 3 days fencing total, and half a day with a buddy on the chainsaw, but hopefully if I'm in there with somebody and I'm working with a chainsaw anyway, I could whittle down that half day, because most of that time would be spent walking, and if you're in there already you can do it a bit quicker hopefully. So that was 3 posts, 4 struts, 25 stakes, not a lot of barbed wire, 3 days fencing, half a day with a buddy on the chainsaw. Note this doesn't include Hugh's section, because, I mean, go back and look at last year's if you want an estimate on the materials for upgrading the woodwork of Hugh's. And that's it. Thanks. Bye.